Mini episode 1447 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode 1447, our Billions episode 6.5 preview. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our top 5 notes of interest heading into this season's 5th episode. Number 5, John Calipari's greasiness fit in well with Wall Street. No elaboration necessary. Number 4, the governor's having fun playing Chuck and Prince off of each other. Bob Sweeney's just been a pawn of more powerful men for as long as he's been on the canvas, but for once, he seemed to inhabit the actual power befitting the chief executive of the state of New York. Seeing him even further in the middle of this power struggle would be really fun. Number 3. It would never happen in real life, but New Jersey puts in their own Olympic bid. It's one of the iron laws of life that huge events like the Olympics are pursued by the tri-state area collectively, but here we got to see what New York versus New Jersey would look like if it ever actually happened. Never bet against the side that has wags. Number 2. Taylor reveals what it's all been about. There's always been something of a disconnect between the ruthless capitalistic tendencies and the alleged left-leaning tendencies underneath, but the explanation was finally provided. Taylor is trying to build a gigantic war chest, using God-given abilities by whatever means necessary to pursue those supposedly loftier goals afterward. As someone who either shares those goals or at least pretends to, Prince lent an education about the size of the war chest necessary to effect that change. We need to see Taylor referring back to this goal in the future for it to register as more than a plot point for a single episode. Number 1, did we call it or did we call it? Chuck lost Sacker by taking her for granted. Granted, this show's not subtle in its foreshadowing of major character turns, and the way that Chuck stupidly lost the loyalty of Kate by not doing enough to support her forthcoming campaign all but ensured her defection. Prince just got himself a heavy hitter when it comes to navigating the New York congressional scene, and Kate has the chance for flashy accomplishments befitting a congressional campaign that weren't being provided by Chuck. Since Sacker didn't leave out of any sense of disillusionment with Chuck beyond that, this may not turn into an ugly war like it did when Connerty turned against Chuck, but never say never on this show. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.